Okay, let's get right to it, shall we, Aquarius? This is the 2, and it's right next to a 2, and right next to 2 2. So you have a line of 2s, which is really finding your balance. Finding your balance, Aquarius. It looks like you may have been a little bit out of sorts for the last couple of months, not knowing what to do, but finding your balance between your emotions, the physical world, and the spiritual world. Just having things come into focus a little bit. So it does look like that you are planning for the future, taking a look at the future. This legacy key is kind of lighting up for me. So it looks like you are looking at some old habits that are not serving you very well anymore. It does look like they are still incorporated, that you haven't completely let them go, but you are looking at them. And this can be anything from like an addiction to just a behavior of non-communication that has been pulled through the legacy of your family. But it does look like you want to make some changes in how you either less reactionary type behaviors, really taking a look at things before you react to them. But you're focusing on your future right now and what that looks like, releasing some of the things from the past. Although it looks like you have a hard time making those changes and making a step into your future, I encourage you to do that no matter how fearful that is, Aquarius. But it looks like some changes on the horizon. It also feels like you may be doing some traveling over the summer. Water may or may not be involved, but the water is lighting up for me. So you may be traveling a great distance from your home, but it does look like you are looking to the future now, a little bit more than you have previous. So what crosses you is the fear picture, the old broken alone picture. If I have to stay in this situation or I will be destitute. It is what it is till you make it something else. So it's time to just grab your fear, walk through it, and do it anyway. But there are some changes that are long overdue. It looks like possibly job. You may not be in a job that really suits you or feeds your soul. You may be in a relationship that isn't going anywhere, as well as making some personal changes on the habitual side of things, whether it's addictions or behaviors or processes that really haven't worked generationally. So let the change begin with you. So take a step into that fear, make those changes anyway. But this is the old broken alone card that's kind of been holding you in this place of a static place, really not making any movements. But it does look like these changes need to happen, and just hanging on to the past is not going to help things. Changes will be coming, so you might as well jump on there and put down this fear. You can be fearful and do it anyway. And I think that's what the Fool is here. Do it anyway. Don't be afraid to look foolish and make some changes. The Death card is here. That is the ending of something. It doesn't look like it's a physical death. There's no people next to it. So this could be a relationship, this could be a job, this could be just the behavior or the addiction that you're really ready to release. But some form of habitual practice is no longer working for you. That may be the way that you communicate or don't communicate. It may be, Aquarius, sometimes you guys do ignore stuff in hopes that it will change. And what it looks like is that you are no longer going to be ignoring things that are really obvious. And jump in there and make those changes. And you're ready for it. You're ready to make these changes. You're ready for things to flow a little smoother for you by really looking at what it is, not what you want it to be. The card in the past is also a 2, so you got all these 2s here, really trying to find the balance. Could be the balance between work and home, could be the balance of emotions, could be the balance of money versus wants. So it looks like you are looking at the balance of everything in your life and how it's been kind of off kilter for a while and how to get you back on track. So the 2 of Swords here, It's kind of a defensive card. It is what I spoke about, really not wanting to see what was happening and just being defensive just in case anything comes your way, you're prepared for it. But it's time to pull that mask off, pull that blindfold off, take a look at what it really is, and then you can resolve from that place of knowledge. So it's something that's long overdue and something that you've already begun to do. Just keep doing it. Keep looking at the obvious. You know, if it's a duck, it's a duck. It's not going to turn into a swan. So look at it for what it is, and then you can resolve from that place of knowledge. And the transformation has already begun. So this is kind of more of the same for you, Aquarius. The Queen of Wands are here. Queens are exalted. Wands are motion. This could be a fire woman, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. This feels like there is an opportunity for you. This doesn't necessarily feel like a person. This feels like an exalted opportunity for you that's been kind of hidden, or that you've been kind of ignoring. It creates new growth, and when this change happens, even though you are in a lot of resistance to this change, once this change is happening, there will be new opportunities of motion, of exaltedness, education, and growth. But this really feels like something will be presented to you, and it may be presented, you may have a new a boss that's a woman or something like that, but it does feel like this is more like an exalted opportunity, or something that will benefit you more, and you'll gain knowledge and motion. And it also feels like it will, if you take the chance, it will raise your havingness on the financial part. But it does feel like you've been in resistance to this change, and it's happening anyway. So you might as well jump in there. Good things are afoot after the completion of the change. And so it looks like put down some of that fear. That fear really holds you in this kind of suspended state of animation, or making decisions become constipated. So it's already happening. You might as well jump in there. And it does look like the outcome of it will be very beneficial. So trust in the journey a little bit. Trust in the journey. So that will be offered to you if it hasn't already been offered to you. There's a new opportunity, either a new place to live, new job, new relationship. Something will be offered to you, and it will benefit you. The Two of Pentacles here also, once again, trying to find the balance, but really looking at honestly what you can change, what is yours to change, and what is somebody else's. But prioritizing, this really feels like prioritizing for your betterment, not for anyone else's, but for yours. It does feel like there's some healing and some growth happening, but it has been sparked by a little bit of frustration and anger and a little bit of helplessness with this change. This is kind of the helplessness card as well. But it does look like the future is much brighter for you once you process these feelings. And it looks like the culmination point, or the ending of a change that you have tried to initiate for a while. So some of those emotional changes, and maybe how your mom or your dad handled things was to shut down, and you want to make those changes. You don't want to do that. You want to be open. So that's just an example, but you are opening your heart. You're finding your balance. It looks like there's a lot of fear about money with this change. But just hold the vision, and everything you need will be there, whether it's in a monetary form or a physical form at all, but just hold that vision. It does feel like travel. Some distance is involved, and you have a couple of water cards. You have all three actually are water cards. So you may be changing your view to a place where you're looking at water, or visiting someplace that has water, or going a greater distance this summer just to get a different view. The basis of all this is the King of Wands. Now, the Wands are fire signs, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. And this feels like either a mentor or a helping hand in some way. This is really actually feeling more like a Leo man. I normally do not put gender on the cards, but this is really feeling like a Leo man. Either he needs your help or you need his help. But it looks like once these changes start to happen and you feel more comfortable in the change and the dynamics of that change, that there is either a pairing, a helping, a mentoring, could be going into business with a King of Wands, but there is some opportunities there to gift and receive with this King of Wands. It does feel like it's more, it starts on a personal level, but it does look like it can propel you into creating more money or creating some kind of business or helping each other in some way to better you financially for the both of you. What is next is I'm going to turn this, I believe this is a 5. Yes. No, 4. This is the 4 of Pentacles, and this is kind of finding your space from the noise and the din and people's opinions. It is upside down, so maybe it's time for you not to isolate so much and to come out of your head a bit, Aquarius, and ask for advice and offer advice. Come out a little bit of the cocoon, of the cave, and interact with those of your heart. And bounce ideas off of people. But it looks like the isolation stuff is not really working for you. You need a little bit more motion. You need to step out of your head a little bit, get a little more motion, so you can really plant those ideas and they can grow. The Fool is here, and the Fool is actually the very beginning of the story of the Tarot. It starts with a 0, and it is a story of the Fool. So you are going back to square one in many respects, many things of your life, but it's like a new beginning. So don't be afraid to try new things or different things. Take a chance. Learn from the lessons of the past. The Fool also stands for that. You know, don't walk off the edge of that cliff. You know it's there, but take a chance. Fly high and try something new. It does feel like it's time to heal your heart. It's time to heal your head and to try things new. Doing the same things over and over again is not serving you, and it is not promoting positive growth. And it feels like you know that now. You know that. It's just where to begin, where to take that first step. The Hermit is here. It's not really an isolation card like the 4 is. The 4 is kind of like a hiding away card. The Hermit is more like going into yourself and speaking to the God of your heart and finding out what would serve you without everybody's opinions before you make that decision or any decisions. And this lantern is lighting up for me. So it's feeling like really listening to your first mind, really listening to what Spirit is trying to tell you. So the very first thing that pops in your head, don't discount it. Explore it before you negate it. But it does look like change is in the air, and just figuring out how that's going to look for you, but don't stay in that isolation place too long. Don't be afraid to ask for help, to give and receive help. But really, it's time to stop the isolation and start joining life again. But it looks like you've been hiding for a bit. Sorry, Aquarius, you've been hiding for a bit. So connect with the God of the heart and find out what is best for you, and then start the ball rolling. The Ace of Wands is here. Wands are motion. Wands are fire, ideas, movement. And aces, I like to call the God cards. That is when we're firmly on our spiritual path and our positive karma. when we're walking through that fear place and doing it anyway. So that's right on the horizon of the Hermit here. So pretty shortly, if it hasn't already started, there'll be some motion happening in your life, and you taking control of some of those changes, planting the seeds of ideas and manifesting them into the physical world, whether it's a trip you've always wanted to take, a job you've always wanted to try, a class, a person you've always wanted to ask out, or something you've wanted to do with your loved ones. It's time to do those activities, not just think about them. Time to put them into action and in motion, Aquarius. You have some wonderful ideas, but they can't come to fruition if you don't plant the seeds, water it, grow, and move it along. King of Cups here is feeling like a water sign. That's Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. It does feel like this shift is coming to you, either being facilitated by this King of Cups, and this can be a man or a woman. It's usually somebody over 30 or 40, someone of great wisdom that has their emotions. They're an emotional based person. So it does feel like there may be a little bit of upset in your emotional life for a minute. It may be facilitated by this King of Cups, this water sign, but in the long run, it will be a more positive motion for you and one of growth and balance. So it looks like balance is really your focus. So take a look at the things that you haven't wanted to look at in a while. They are going to change. So it's better that you drive the bus versus the bus drives over you. Okay, I'm going to throw a couple of these angel cards. These were gifted to me by a sweet sister. I don't use them that much because they're so cumbersome, and there's a lot of cards here. So let's do that. Let's see what is happening. Okay, we have the World, or Archangel Michael, and the Page of Earth. So this is scholarly, dependable, patient, successful. Good news about financial matters. Excellent. Wanting to do something more challenging and a new area of study. So change is coming. Don't worry about the money aspect. Put out the passion and the love that you have for this particular activity or something that you've always wanted to do, and hold the vision. The money will come. The World is above you, the Archangel Michael, who is the angel of the angels. He is the highest and exalted angel. So a job well done, joy, contentment, gratitude, the path toward enlightenment. So each step that you take on this path of great, that you are in great resistance, you will get validated more and enlightened more. So that will help you propel yourself into the future a little bit more.